want to welcome everybody. As we did last year, we've got a full slate of games. It's the earliest we've ever done anything like this. Let me tell you what you're not going to see. You're not going to see Madden. You're not going to see NCAA football. You're not going to see NHL. You're not going to see NBA Live. Having said that, even as early as we are in the season here in March, you're going to see a full slate of EA games that I think will show you how we're transforming the business, how the teams certainly in Burnaby and Orlando, our development teams, are really grasping what's important to the consumer nowadays in sports. A lot of what you're going to see today is on the Wii, as well as some of the PS3 and Xbox 360 stuff we're doing, in particular with Fight Night Round 4. Our ability to be able to deliver this to you this early in the season is credit to the way that the teams are working now. We're as front-end loaded with our stuff as we've ever been at this stage in the season. I'm looking forward to giving you hands-on this afternoon. So we're going to kick off in a few moments with EA Sports Active. I'm sure you've all seen a glimpse of this. I think you also have seen that this month's MPD scores that have just come out show that 3 of the top 20 games in the month of February and actually the month of January were fitness games, whether it's Wii Fit or the Jillian Michaels game. We're seeing a real movement. It is maybe on the back of some of the social elements we've seen with Guitar Hero and Rock Band for fitness coming in, and we're going to get Jen Riley and her team to show you and demo that here this afternoon and throughout the evening. So EA Sports Active will be here, and for the first time you'll see the entire game. Perhaps equally importantly, for the first time many of you will get your hands on Wii Motion Plus. We're very proud of the fact that on June 16th, both our Grand Slam tennis titles as well as Tiger Woods would ship, both compatible with the Wii Motion Plus. You'll get hands-on using Wii Motion Plus this afternoon. It gives us great pleasure to do that, and of course with tennis, it's a brand new franchise for EA Sports. In the 15 to 20 years that we've been delivering authentic, licensed, simulated sports, we've never delivered tennis, and it's with great pride we're able to do that this coming summer, and I'm excited about the globalization impact that brings to our business. You can't do tennis without Johnny Mac. And it struck me this morning, if there's one athlete that deserves to be in a video game that never has, it's John McEnroe. So all of you are supposed to say, you can't be serious. Right? Johnny Mac, for the first time, will be part of our Grand Slam tennis, first time ever in a video game. Absolutely delighted to bring what I believe is the golden era of tennis to life, and perhaps no better word that he would be. He was on center court at Wimbledon, where he won 3 Wimbledon championships in the 70s and the 80s. So putting John McEnroe as part of EA Sports Grand Slam tennis is very important to us. And of course, having the Grand Slams, the French, Wimbledon, the US Open, and the Australian Open for the first time for many, many years coming together in a tennis game, we think is a real initiative for us to be able to drive home against the competition that's going to be coming out of the same period. Moving forward again, when we think about authenticity, when we think about the titles that we have a lot of pride in that we don't deliver every single year, when we think about building real physics into games and really looking back again at golden eras of sports, particularly typified by Mike Tyson at his peak when he was Iron Mike, and Muhammad Ali, the greatest of all time, for the first time ever, you'll be able to see and maybe answer the question, who truly was the greatest of all time? Today, you'll be able to play as Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali in their respective peaks of their careers, with the first look and hands-on for most of you on Fight Night Round 4 coming out this summer for the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3 platforms. When we think about EA Sports as well, we think about online. And let me throw a few facts out right now, the power of online. And it's interesting, I'm only about 4 blocks away from the old Sega headquarters that I think many of you remember there on 650 Townsend Street. And it's 10 years this year that we launched the Dreamcast console, delivering online gaming at 28K, blazing fast speeds of dial-up, and sports was the key. If you remember, many of you were still maybe in high school in those days, but if you remember, those of you who do, I know Dean Takahashi does, it was NBA 2K. We were delivering sports, it was NFL 2K1. We were delivering sports as the way that we showed how online gaming will work. And when we think about what we have now, if you will, taken the baton of what the Dreamcast started, many would argue the Xbox 360 picked up with online play, with Xbox Live in particular, and of course now with PlayStation Network and PlayStation Home moving along. What we now bring from a way of looking at sports as still as the way that many people experience online games. Let me give some facts. In the last 24 hours, 35 years of gameplay was played in 24 hours alone of EA Sports games. the equivalent of 35 years of gameplay. The equivalent of 150 full NFL seasons were played yesterday alone on Madden NFL Football. And the equivalent of 300 Premier League seasons were played yesterday alone on FIFA 09. All online. If I combine, for example, alone, FIFA and Madden, we're averaging about 2 million games a day being played online. So when you bring on a perspective of where we were 5 blocks from here 10 years ago, we've come a long way. But we continue to be able to invest, whether it's 3 versus 3 NHL Arcade on Xbox Live, which for 2 weeks in a row was the #1 out of 200 games available, #1 game on Xbox Live Arcade. Whether it's FIFA Ultimate Team, which will be available for download in the next 2 weeks, directly to your hard drive, enhancing what is already one of the great games of the past year, FIFA 09. Whether it's the NCAA basketball bracket that you can download as early as next week and populate the teams when the brackets are announced this weekend, directly to your drive, regardless of whether you own the game or not, to give you that March Madness experience on your Xbox 360. That is where we are heading right now, as the ability to bring the online experience of online gaming, tournament play, challenges, unique experiences to consumers directly in their home. And we'll continue to enhance the physical goods element of what we do with the digital direct-to-consumer element of what we do as well. So we're excited about not only continue to build what our portfolio is, but as people buy our games and continue to play our games, give them more reasons to keep that disc in the drive, give them more reasons as the season events come along, whether it's Super Bowls, whether it's NCAA brackets, whether it's World Series, whatever it is in sports, where we play a part, we will bring you that experience, and we'll try and do that for you directly in your home. Seriously, we're going to be here for at least 5 or 6 hours. Please enjoy the afternoon. Again, I'm very proud to be able to bring all of these games to you so early in the year, and I look forward to seeing your responses, and I know many of you I'm going to be talking to later on. Go out, enjoy. Thanks very much. Take care.